And we are live. We want to go, sucker. We want to go, sucker. And we are, like you heard in the intro, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's edition of the IRWP, the It's Real Wrestling podcast. I'm your boy, Ben Goosen. I just got to say, what up, Sage the Mock?
What's good, Ben Goosen?
Not much. It's been a crazy week, man. In personal life, basketball life, football life. My Dolphins were boring Monday night. Cleveland, hopefully in a couple weeks. So, oh man, I need a break from NBA, NFL for a bit. And what a perfect break! What a perfect time for a break than this weekend, right? This is a great weekend. This is a phenomenal P1 weekend. Would you agree?
Definitely P1 weekend for a hard knock life. You know what I'm saying? Like we got the excellence. We got a Ring of Honor with Kenny Omega coming. We got NXT with Adam Cole possibly taking a belt off of Drew McIntyre. Then we got that War Games on Saturday, and then that Sunday we got Sunday. We got Survivor Series on Sunday, and then we got Monday Raw in Houston. We got SmackDown on Tuesday in Houston. Yo, geez. It's going down. It's a great day to be a wrestling fan.
It is. You know, this weekend is a great weekend to be a wrestling fan. But before we get into that, I just want to, because we have a busy show today, there's a lot to get into. So Sage, do you want to start with, let's start real quick. I don't know if you're going to care about this, but today, for those that we tell you every week, we do the show live on YouTube. If you want to watch it live, though most of y'all listen on the audio podcast. If you want to join in live, ask us any questions, just type in It's Real Wrestling Podcast. We do it every Thursday night between 9 and 10 Central. So there was a release today. Was it today? Yes. No. Yeah. Was it today or yesterday? James Ellsworth. So I think I'm cursed because I bought a James Ellsworth shirt last year that I wore to the Royal Rumble. I also bought a Jimmy Butler traded, Derrick Rose traded, Doug McDermott traded jersey. So anybody whose shirt I buy gets traded. They get de-pushed, or maybe I'm the bad luck guy. So James Ellsworth, he's released. I think WWE has like a no compete clause where you can't compete for X amount of time after you're released, because I would love to see him randomly show up tomorrow night in ROH. Well, he had a good year and a half run. Did you expect anything more or less out of James Ellsworth?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I think he had one hell of a career from being where he was, man. I mean, in every situation that he was given, he really made the best and the most out of it, and got himself over. You know what I mean? Like when Braun Strowman was going through jobbers, he wasn't really over until he went through James Ellsworth. And James Ellsworth really kind of catapulted his career. I still remember you and I going back and forth during the time when AJ Styles and him had those series of SmackDown matches where it seriously looked like he was going to beat AJ Styles for the title belt, and you were getting upset and mad, and we loved it, man. It was creative. It was different as everything that we asked for. And then, the thing with Carmella, Carmella needed a mouthpiece, like desperately. She needed someone to help her get over and get the heat. He got himself over with the heat. and transferred it over to Carmella, and and now, I mean, he did his thing, man, and
Yeah.
I can't crap on him for it, man. He did his thing. I'm internally grateful. I was entertained, and at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? Being entertained.
Yeah, I agree. So shout out to James Ellsworth. You'll be all right. You'll do all right on the indie scene. I think he could wrestle, and he's a character, and characters do well on the indie scene. Speaking of indie scene, tomorrow night, your boy Ben Goosen, for those of y'all in San Antonio, Texas, or that are going to be in San Antonio, Texas tomorrow night, your boy is going to be at ROH. I'm going to be sporting a Bullet Club shirt tomorrow night. I'm going to try to, there's some hot topic. There's some pretty snazzy Kenny Omega shirts. Oh, can I tell you something? So
Yeah.
I went out 2 weeks ago, and I went to catch a cold brew with the fellas, and I was wearing my Bullet Club shirt out, and lo and behold, somebody gives me the Bullet Club sign, the Wolfpack sign, NWO sign, however you want to word it. But we didn't talk. I was walking across the bar. He was walking across the other way. We gave each other the Bullet Club sign and just walked right past each other. So it was respect. If you know the Bullet Club, you're a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, I go to Wingstop the other day. On Monday, I go to get my wings. And lo and behold, this dude comes in wearing a Kenny Omega shirt. And I'm like, yo. And it said the cleaner on it. And I'm like, man, that's legit. And I looked up at him, and he was sitting waiting for his wings. I was walking out, and I gave him the Bullet Club sign. Each other. Gave a head nod. What's up? I see, honestly, and I see John Cena shirts. If you walked out in public or you just went to the mall, I'm not saying you're going to see 5 people with wrestling shirts, probably not. But right now, you might see more Bullet Club shirts. So I'm pumped tomorrow about tomorrow night, Marty Scurll, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, you name it. They're there tomorrow night. The Young Bucks, the NXT is in San Antonio, like I mentioned last week. ROH is in San Antonio. I'm picking to go to ROH. There's a lot of talent. So I'm pumped. I can't wait. Just letting you guys know, if you are tomorrow night, ROH San Antonio off Austin Highway, then look out for your boy. I'll be wearing just your traditional regular Bullet Club shirt. I'm gonna probably try and buy a shirt tomorrow night. But you're gonna see your boy out there. Say what's up to your boy. And then if you don't want to say what's up to Ben Goosen and you want to say what's up to Sage and Mark, what are your plans for this weekend, Sage and Mark?
You know, unlike Ben Goosen, I will be repping the IRWP t-shirt when I'm there at NXT WAR Games.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. And you know what? I might even be on the hard cam. So you guys look for that hashtag IRWP because your boy is going live with the signs. I'm going to have everything going. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be doing interviews. And that's pretty much it. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So y'all see me. Y'all see Sage the Mark there. Y'all see Ben Goosen around. Y'all tag us along. You know, say what's up. We friendly. We friendly.
Yeah. It's all about being a fan. So we got a busy weekend. Anything? Should we just let's just get into Raw and SmackDown because we had a busy week in wrestling. Yeah. I don't want to get into it. Make sure we have time for everything. So let's start with Raw. I thought Raw was solid. I thought the build-up. This is the most pumped as a wrestling fan I have been for a wrestling pay-per-view show in a not named WrestleMania, because automatically, for WrestleMania, you automatically get pumped. This is a show I've been more pumped for. Oh man, I can't think of how long it's been. It's been a long time. So I really liked Raw this week. Not gonna lie, since the Dolphins were on Monday night, I did fast forward through some of Raw, some stuff I didn't see. Cruiserweight hype, and I thought this week was a go home week, so I thought it was going to be a trash week, and it wasn't. So Raw, I think the big angle coming out of Raw was, and if you follow us on Instagram, you saw the Fresh Prince reference. Jason Jordan this week, amazing this week. for a guy who I've given flack for, who we've talked before, has been close to being cut a couple times, who, I'm just not feeling it. Where's he going to go? What's he going to do? All was, I'll stand corrected any time. So he's athletic. He's good in the ring. He'll get better with time, just from he's only on the main roster for a couple of months now, especially as a singles wrestler. But his emotions coming out and fighting Bray Wyatt, I thought, all right, this is Bray's comeback from the injury, from the sickness match. He's going to do okay. Coming back, I thought Bray was going to pick up the win. He has the roll-up loss, and Bray takes out Jason Jordan's knee on Raw. Jason Jordan's. So, all right, what did you think of Jason Jordan on Raw?
I absolutely loved it. I thought that was one of the highlights of the entire show is Jason Jordan. They are finally doing something with this, with his storyline, and I know that we've all been giving crap about Jason Jordan, and most people are pretty harsh about it, more so because they just don't like him, kind of thing. But I just think that the build to Jason Jordan's storyline was just a little bit too long. But come full circle this Monday, it was great. Kudos to Stephanie for coming out and laying down the how do you say the continuity, man. How do you pick Jason Jordan over John Cena? You've been giving this guy chances over chances, and he hasn't done anything, but yet you pick him on our team. Like, I thought that was great. That's always been something that we've been very critical of the WWE about, the continuity, the gaps in the storylines. And Stephanie just did a wonderful job doing it. Bray Wyatt taking the loss, didn't mind it, because ultimately it advanced the Survivor Series storyline, which I absolutely love. And I can't wait to talk about the Survivor Series booking, because I think it's just going to be amazing, man. I
think what I also liked is Seth Rollins calling out Stephanie and saying, the last time we saw you got put through a table. Correction, your husband put you through a table. I loved it. I thought the continuity was there. I love when WWE does continuity. It's like when they reference, oh yeah, you guys were the Shield until Seth Rollins turned on you. So you really trust this guy? And I love all those little aspects, the continuity aspects, the little one-hitter comments here and there that revolve around continuity. John Cena, when he was feuding with Roman Reigns, mentioning the drug test, little things like that. I thought Jason Jordan was the star of all of Raw. Like, him coming out at the end, or towards the end, before Triple H was announced as the next participant, and him basically just crying in the ring. And Kurt says, no, I can't, son, I can't. And him and Jason Jordan saying, hey, you won the Olympics with a broken neck, and you're not going to let me fight with a bum knee. Look on his face, and he was so sad the whole time and heartbroken. Triple H comes out. And if you listened to the show last week, I don't care if it happens, but you know what I'm dying for. Triple H comes out. And did you see Triple H when he went up to Kurt? I don't know, it wasn't on mic, but did you see him look at Kurt and go, this is your son? After he announced the fifth participant is me, he looked at Kurt and said, this is your son? This is your son? And he pedigreed him. So there's
seeds planted.
That's deep, because you got to understand, a father just saw his son get pedigreed, get knocked out cold. A father just saw his son, who's got a broken knee, we'll say, get pedigreed in the ring. But it's by his boss's husband. So you're at this predicament. You can't really do anything, but you should. Any normal man maybe would just cold cock the guy. I don't know if I'm going to see Triple H, Kurt Angle. I don't know. I don't care until it happens. But it was just this emotional moment in the ring where Kurt Angle could have went and beat up Triple H, but instead he went to check on his son.
Yeah.
And it was just such a good, like a good moment. And it makes me, it's another layer of, does Triple H bring out the NXT crew, which I'm praying for, on Survivor Series? Or does it just, if he doesn't and it goes on in a normal match and Triple H is first pinned, it's not going to kill me. I'm not going to be bothered by it. I'm just happy to see the guy. But maybe does this advance some sort of Triple H, Kurt Angle, Triple H, Jason Jordan, Stephanie, Kurt Angle? Does anything come out of it? Probably not after Survivor Series, but it's just a good interesting caveat to add to the show.
I mean, I think I beg to differ just a little bit, man. I feel like this is planting the seeds for Raw going forward after Survivor Series, because now you've got a three-way dance here between Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle and Triple H, and then Kurt Angle and Stephanie McMahon. So I honestly think I absolutely love this, and there's so many ways that you can go with this after Survivor Series. And I'm legit excited for Raw. Like I don't think I've been this excited for Raw in a long time, and I think that they actually did it right. Like I can't, as much as Raw has been pretty terrible, I have to give it to them for 2017. Their build to Survivor Series has been absolutely amazing, on both sides, both Raw.
Yeah, by far, it's been spot on.
I think it's been amazing, man, and this is why I enjoy wrestling. Like the storytelling, right? You got to give me something that makes me want to tune in every single week, and Survivor Series is the perfect platform, because not only do I want to watch Raw to find out what's going on, I want to see the continuation of the storylines on the next day on SmackDown. And
maybe we'll have a Jason Jordan Triple H, because Triple H is kind of coming back into fighting. He joined up with the Shield. He's fighting at Survivor Series. He's fighting Jinder Mahal in India, and I think he tweeted out today he's fighting. I think it was or something like that. He's fighting Roman Reigns overseas. So he's going to be in the ring quite a bit. Maybe this leads up to a Jason Jordan Triple H match, which is a good match. I mean, Triple H can go.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good match.
But there's so many storylines. Like in Survivor Series alone, me and Dabi Amore talked 2 weeks ago about, is this a throwaway pay-per-view that happens to be really good? Throwaway meaning Raw and SmackDown can have their individual storylines going on during the show, during their respective shows. But as long as no titles are on the line, it's something you want to see. But I mentioned it before, the winner of the match isn't getting a push on Raw. The loser of the match is not getting a push or demotion on SmackDown by any means. It's not like if AJ loses to Brock, he's going to be in the undercard or the mid-card or fighting for the Intercontinental or the U.S. title or whatever on each show or anything like that. But it's just quality entertaining. Man, we can't see these guys fight. So what the WWE has done a great job at, if you think about it, you said last week, and we agreed, and we'll get into our predictions later. Braun, he's probably going to be taken out by Kane and maybe go to the back or get beaten up in the back or something like that. Braun he may get taken out by Kane, especially after the ending of the Raw where Braun power slammed him through the ring. But that's a prime example of, in the Survivor Series match, the men's match, you have so many storylines going into that match for each individual wrestler that it could impact the match. So take Triple H. I mentioned maybe NXT comes out. Maybe Stephanie comes out. Take Kurt Angle. Maybe Jason Jordan comes out. Braun Strowman. Maybe Kane comes out. Samoa Joe. He might just get flat out eliminated. John Cena. Maybe him and Shinsuke Nakamura butt heads. You don't know. Shane McMahon, maybe Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn interfere in the match. So it's cool because in the main event, you have the SmackDown and Raw individual storylines that could interfere with that main event and have an impact. Whereas last year, it was just, oh, Randy Orton and Bray. It was a great match. It was really cool to push Randy Orton and Bray as the Wyatt family. But it was a clear cut, oh, yep, SmackDown won this year. But now you have a lot of different storylines going into the main event. And we're not even talking about our predictions on the women's match. Do you want to get into SmackDown? SmackDown was...
Just real quick. Shout out to Drew Gulak, bro. Like, he is doing his thing, man. Coming out to Enzo's theme song. He's just... I love how he's just trying to run around just like Enzo is. Like, that dude is doing his thing, man. He's such an ultra talented guy. He's
created a character for himself.
Yeah, definitely so. I did want to say, the one thing I think Survivor Series, the only thing that Survivor Series is missing now that we have the brand split is that if it's truly about, like, it shouldn't just be bragging rights. Like, there should be a consequence if
you lose, for sure.
If you lose, for sure. Yeah. To carry over to the next pay-per-view where everybody's going to be in, like the Royal Rumble or...
So what should the consequence be?
I mean...
What if you lose an NXT call-up? Or what if...
Bring one down? I mean, I don't know, man. Like, one thing I liked about TNA is that they had, like, the feast or fire kind of match, which is similar to, like, Money in the Bank. But, you had, like, 9 cases, and one of the cases had a, contract termination, you get fired, and then another one had a title shot.
So what would you have? Would you? I agree. It's like the argument me and you, I think, have made before about the NBA All-Star Game. The NBA All-Star Game, the Pro Bowl, none of those matter because nothing's on the line. So the superstars just take a break. But what could be put on the line in Survivor Series? You can't say titles because you don't want to switch titles on shows. Somebody hit us up. Fans, hit us up. Jobbers, we call you guys. Hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah,
let us know what you think. Because I'm kind of at a roadblock. And maybe you lose. No, losing a GM wouldn't be that cool.
What about Royal Rumble, man? Maybe the winning team gets an extra 3 slots or extra 2 or 3 slots in the Royal Rumble to increase their chances of winning.
Yeah, because that'll be a continuing storyline from now till January. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe whoever loses, the losing team is guaranteed the first 5 spots in the Rumble.
Yeah, that could work. Or the last 5.
Yeah, the winning team gets the last 5. Right? Oh, good point.
Yeah. There's got to be some type of stipulation, man. I think that's the only thing that's missing, man.
Not that this card is bad.
No. I mean, it's
this
not.
This card is stacked.
The card is completely stacked. I just think that's the only element that would be missing to make it like perfect is, the winning team gets something in return. So and this wasn't a bad go home show. In fact, I wouldn't even call it a go home show, to be honest with you, because because basically
the storylines don't pause. The storylines aren't on pause. They'll continue right back next week.
Well, what I mean is that your go home show is supposed to sell you, like that episode is supposed to sell you alone on watching the network on Sunday. But really, the go home show was a combination of both Raw and SmackDown together, which I thought that was ingenious. How they did it, with SmackDown starting off with SmackDown being happy that, hey, that they've in the last 4 weeks have gotten up and have been successful in deterring Raw and bringing down their morale.
Real quick, got to interrupt you. Shout out to Stephen Thatch for the live show. He just pointed out a great point. The winning team gets the 3-hour show.
Bam.
Wow. Oh my God. That's a hot take. That's
yeah.
The winning team. And that's in a perfect world, I would love that because we all want every fanboy wants SmackDown to have the 3-hour show. But what if we get it and we realize, man, Kevin Owens in 6 segments a week is kind of a lot. I'm kind of annoyed by this. Man, I wish it'd go back to Monday. Or what happens when Monday Night Football ends and my Dolphins aren't playing the Panthers on a Monday night? And I think, man, I actually have some freed up time to watch Monday Night Raw. Wow. Man, I wish Raw was 3 hours. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. That's actually a really creative idea.
And you could put the 3rd hour on the network for SmackDown, so that way it doesn't interfere with their contract agreement with USA.
Easily.
Yeah.
It's easier to go back an hour to cut from 3 to 2. And this is just theoretically speaking. We're fans, y'all. We don't know about contract this and advertisement and all that. We're just theoretically speaking as fans.
Speak for yourself, sucker. I know about contracts.
You know you know nothing about contracts. You know what contract you need to know about? You need to know about the contract where maybe we called you a monkey a couple weeks ago. So I went back and listened to the podcast, and just to clarify, because I love doing the podcast and I love working with Sage the Mark for sure. We were referring to the movie Outbreak. So if you have any idea what Sage and Mark and I look like, monkey's probably not the best term to refer to you and your boy. But either which way, we're referring to Outbreak. SmackDown. Speaking of monkeys, let me talk about SmackDown. So I'm curious. I thought SmackDown... Did you notice this week on SmackDown that... the Usos. Did you watch SmackDown this week? Did you watch SmackDown in full this week?
I watched both. I watched both. And yes, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Where am I going with this?
When the Usos hit the ring, they stopped and looked at Roman Reigns before getting jumped, bro. I loved it. Like that. The Usos are special, bro. They the most underrated, one of the most underrated talents on the roster, man. They get it. They get it, man.
Did you notice they hopped in the ring? If I remember right, they didn't even attack Roman Reigns, right? No, and Roman didn't attack them.
Nope, not in the entire thing. They saw him, and then they were like, "Nah, we ain't gonna touch him." And then they just, they got jumped, and that was that. That leads me to believe, man. Maybe that's the seeds. Maybe we're gonna get like the Wild Samoans, bruh. Like.
With The Rock. The Rock could join him too.
Yeah, man.
That
would be hot, bro. I will mark out for something like that, man.
I think so. The just like Jason Jordan did, the star winners of SmackDown are the Usos. Did you watch the Usos? Well, I guess it was it Jimmy or Jay versus Chad Gable this week? I get him.
Jay is injured, so it was Jimmy.
Okay, so I figured they were resting Jay until this weekend because we confirmed that he's going to be fine. He'll be good to go this weekend on Survivor Series. So, Did you notice that Jimmy, the Usos in general, they were face?
They kind of have been, man. They've been teetering that line.
Well, did you notice? So typically, when you watch a wrestling match, the heel controls kind of the mid part of the match, and then it twists at the end. Chad Gable controlled a lot of that match, and Jimmy even did where he runs off the turnbuckle and goes, "Oohs!" The fans go, "Oh!" They haven't done that in a while. That's face Usos. So I wonder if they portrayed the face this week, because on the pay-per-view Sunday, they're going to be the face versus the heel Bar.
Yeah, I think that's semi the case, but it's kind of like how after Shane and AJ had the belt, or not the belt, had the match, that there was like a 2-week period where AJ was turning face. And that's kind of where the Usos are right now. And I truly believe that after SummerSlam, Survivor Series, the Usos will be face in Chad Gable and
Shelton Benjamin. Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin will be heels. So I
But the
mean,
Usos are so amazing as heels. Do you
they
really?
are.
So wait, is the Usos gonna become faces because WWE turns them face and they start beating up bad guys and they stop wrestling dirty, or is it gonna be one of those heel to face turns like the New Day had, where the quality of their in-ring work is so good and their work on the mic is so good that they organically they naturally become faces because of just how good they are in the ring and the mic. And like AJ Styles was brought in as a heel, but he's just so good. AJ Styles didn't have a face turning moment really.
Not
The New
really.
Day didn't really have a face turning moment. It just organically happened with the crowd in the WWE universe. Do you think they'll go that route with the Usos?
I mean, I think so, man. Like we love the Usos, man. Like they're I can't believe I'm saying this, man, because this time last year, I was like, man, there's something's gotta change with the Usos, man. But
And it
this
works.
persona that they have, man, yeah, it's like it, they just feel laid back and honestly, the New Day was the best thing that happened to the Usos, man. I mean,
Well, it's awesome because I feel like somebody said stop being some super wild Samoans and be yourself.
yeah,
Shout out to Hyphen the Impregnator. That's a great name, by the way, who's watching on the live chat. I feel like somebody said stop being a Samoan family, be yourself on the mic, and they've done great work. I love the super kicks,
yeah.
to the knees, because they angle like they're coming up high and then pop you with a super kick in the knee. I love that. So the Usos for sure dominated SmackDown for me. So SmackDown, I guess Charlotte Flair and Natalia. It looks like with Charlotte winning and us getting Charlotte and Alexa, that's huge.
It is, and I think that we kind of expected that. I mean, we talked about this a few weeks back that it made the most sense for Charlotte to come in as champion than Natalia um, to face Alexa Bliss because we haven't seen it before. You know, we've already seen Natty and Alexa, but we haven't seen Charlotte. I'll save my prediction on what I think is going to happen, but I think that this part of me feels like this it was set up to maybe swerve us a bit is kind of how I feel.
We'll get into our predictions because
Yeah.
my predictions
That's all I'll say about
probably
that right now.
very
Man.
similar to yours is in regards to what's going to happen Sunday. And my prediction for what might happen Sunday was heightened when James Ellsworth got released.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great match. Natty's work in the ring was good. I thought it was a nice touch having Ric Flair come out to the ring. So ending of SmackDown. The ending of SmackDown was solid. I mean, we all knew Raw was gonna. Everybody tuned in.
You gonna no sell the AJ advocating promo in the ring, bro?
What AJ promo? I thought you were gonna say you're gonna no sell Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara, and my answer was gonna be yes.
That's a whole other issue there, though.
Oh, I was gonna say yes. Sin Cara didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, well, no, man, and we gotta talk about that real quick too. But yeah, did you skip the Daniel Bryan being the advocate for AJ Styles in the ring?
Oh yeah. So Daniel Bryan had hella great mic work, and I thought he was gonna announce that he was gonna be in Survivor Series somehow.
I think he kind of, well, I mean, not Survivor Series, but I think he kind of gave a little bit of a hint that he homie's about to come back and wrestle, man.
That's kind of what I was hoping for. It didn't happen. I still don't think it's going to happen on principle.
I don't know, man, but that was a hell of a promo, man. That he cut, man. Like, kudos to him, and I did like, you know, AJ coming out and saying that, hey, he's not a puppet kind of thing. Kind kind of reinforces how I feel about the ending, how that match is going to end. But I thought both of them were perfect in the ring together. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for more than one reason, but I'll say that for the again, God,
Yeah,
man,
the prediction. We'll get into the
for the
predictions. We'll get into
prediction.
the predictions. We'll go
Baron
through some
Corbin,
NXT predictions first.
Baron Corbin, real quick, man. Baron Corbin, man. I like Baron Corbin as the U.S. champ, man. I really do, and I think that hopefully after Survivor Series ends, that they are really going to give him like a serious character thing. But I honestly think, man, he's got the theme song, he's got the move sets, the selling not so much, but honestly, man, I think that they need to switch up how he finishes the match. Like, I think that that's the issue for me. Like, for me, he should be ending the match with the deep six as a heel and using the end of days as a face.
Is it because the end of days is cool, like the look of it?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's a pretty move. Like, it really is a pretty move, and you get it. You get excited, man. Like that's the one thing I've never really understood about heel and face wrestlers is the finishers are always the same, and they shouldn't be.
Yeah,
You
no,
should
they
have
should fit. It'd be like if it'd be like if Kevin Owens or a super heel was using the phenomenal forearm.
exactly. Like you just, I think I'm always going to be in the camp about having different move sets when you're either a face or a heel. I just think that makes more sense. And honestly, man, if he finishes people off with the deep six, like little cold cock them, and then when they get up and all woozy, just hit him with the deep six, 1, 2, 3, and call it a day. I think that's what Baron Corbin needs, man. I think that's the missing piece for him. He's got the music. He's got the best music, like the best intro music ever. Like they gave him like, come on, man. They got an actual band to play his music, bro. They got Jim Johnston out of retirement to compose this music for him and get it together. He's got all the tools. They just need to switch up the moveset and make him credible, make him serious. Baron Corbin's got to. This is his last straw, man. I think it's his last straw. If he
Yeah.
fails, he's gonna be on that unemployment line, man. I don't want to see that for Baron Corbin.
Well, that's a great point on heel moves versus face moves, especially for finishers. So before we get into NXT, and we got to move on here in a bit, ending of SmackDown. Were you cool with the Raw takeover and how it all played out?
I absolutely am, man. I like the fact that I was hoping that they wouldn't retaliate. To be honest with you, I was hoping that maybe SmackDown just kind of does it one more time. But this one, I liked it. It was a little predictable, but I think that the way I think what sold it for me were actually surprisingly the women.
Yeah, same here.
I actually got on board with Foxy just taking off the hat and saying I'm the captain, let's go, and then just ransacked that room, bro. And I absolutely loved how they just dragged Lana like like
Yeah,
she
they
was
whooped
getting
up on
a
Lana.
tornado.
So, no, I guess we'll get into the fact that Natalia is not technically, or she might not be on the women's team since Charlotte won. We'll get into that in a little bit. So let's get into you want to go with, let's go with NXT predictions, because NXT, what I like about NXT is it's only 2 hours, they're takeovers. So Cassius Ohno and Lars Sullivan, that to me reeks of Cassius Ohno picking up the W. Pretty safe pick, right?
I gotta go with Lars in this one, man.
All right. I don't know anything about Lars Sullivan. I'll find out on Saturday night.
Isn't this his debut match?
I don't know. Don't know anything about him.
Yeah,
I haven't been keeping up with NXT on Wednesdays.
Yeah, this is his debut. I'm almost positive this is his debut match, man. He ain't gonna lose this match.
So Kairi Sane, Peyton Royce, Moon, and Nikki Cross for the women's title. The vacated, by the way, because Asuka's on Raw. The vacated women's championship. Who's walking out of that ring Saturday night with the title?
I want Peyton Royce to win this one so bad, man. Peyton Royce or Nikki Cross to win this one so bad, man. But I have this funny feeling that they're going to put it on Ember Moon. I don't think Ember Moon needs the title. I honestly think she should be called up, and they need to put her on Raw. Like she doesn't.
I agree.
She doesn't really belong there. I am gonna go with Nikki Cross. To me, that it's a safe bet. She's a great wrestler. She's very strong. Her promos are strong. It's either her or Peyton Royce, and I'm gonna go with Nikki Cross.
So you're gonna pick Nikki Cross? Okay, safe bet.
Yeah.
Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream, which, for the record, I'm
pick, man. How are you
me?
not gonna pick?
Because I'm trying to avoid I'm trying to avoid confrontation.
Just say it, man. What the hell?
No, I don't think Kairi Sane is going to win because she's new. Ember Moon's not going to win. So I'm going to go with Nikki Cross as well. She's got the sanity thing going, and she's crazy, and she can go in the ring.
Okay.
I hope the Velveteen Dream wins. I love that Patrick, who I watched on Tough Enough, and he was the youngest dude on Tough Enough. I think he was like 19 at the time. Is starting to get his thing going. I like the gimmick. I think, unfortunately, Aleister Black will win, but I'm going to pull for the Velveteen Dream. I just hope he has a good showing in the ring.
Yeah, I don't think this feud's going to be over this quick. I've got the Velveteen Dream winning this one as well. I think if they play it smart, they can drag this one out for at least another pay-per-view, which would be
maybe
Rumble.
The Velveteen Dream. Maybe he wins by some cheap tactics. And just picks up the cheap heel win. And speaking of cheap heel wins, this match I'm kind of pumped for because of what I want the outcome to be. Drew McIntyre versus Andrade Cien Almas.
Put an asterisk on that, man, because we don't really know if it is going to be Drew McIntyre.
Okay. I'll assuming it's Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Andrade to win because he's gone through such a change to his character in NXT, but he's so good in the ring. I don't know if he's that close to getting called up yet, but I'm going to go with Andrade Cien Almas. The last few matches I've seen with him have been great, especially against Johnny Gargano at the last NXT TakeOver where he picked up the W. I'm going to go with the shocker here, the underdog, and go with Almas.
Bro, he ain't no shocker, bro. He's got Zelina Vega, bro. Come on.
He does.
Yeah, I got Cien almost on this one too, bro. And I so hope Zelina Vega gets involved in this match, bro. I'm just gonna be so happy.
But his style is more indie style. I think it's more NXT style, unfortunately. So it'll be tough if he goes up to the main card. But he's really good in the ring, and you're right. With a solid valet, you could pick up the dub. Now, Sanity, Undisputed Area, Sanity, the Undisputed Era, and the AOP featuring your boy. What's his name, Sage?
Roderick Strong.
There you go. I got Sanity winning this thing and going up to the main roster because Sanity's the big dude with the beard. I don't know too much, but they're just a good gimmick, a damn good gimmick. The Undisputed Era will probably end up doing some time in NXT.
Yeah, I mean Togar and Razor, I think that's their names. I think Togar and Razor are gonna get betrayed by.
That's not their name.
It was close enough, and they do look like Ninja Turtles. Well, I mean, not Ninja Turtles, but they do look like the mutants from Ninja Turtles, bro. So Togar and Razor, that's your name. We love you. I do think that they're going to get called up, and I think that the way that they're going to get called up is Roderick Strong's going to turn on them and join the Undisputed Era. As much as I think Undisputed Era is going to win the tag titles. I think that's the swerve. I think that makes sense for them, and then that'll give Sanity something to chase. So I think that's kind of. I still think it's too soon to call up Eric Young. Not that he doesn't deserve to be there, because he does. He's got that, but there's nowhere to really put him on the roster where he would fit. Like, there's a lot of developmental talent already on SmackDown.
Well, and if you have Roderick Strong join the Undisputed Era, it's kind of like WWE's version of the Bullet Club, sort of.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think that the storylines should stay there. It'll be the undisputed era on this one, man.
So let's get into Survivor Series predictions.
Yeah,
Kickoff show.
talk about that pre-show, bro. That pre-show is stacked.
Well, it only has one match, right?
Yeah, it's the only match that matters, bro.
Yep, Kalisto and Enzo Amore. Enzo's going to definitely win this. And unfortunately, when he does, Kalisto's move over from SmackDown to 205 is it's going to be a bit unfortunate in my opinion. What do you think?
Zoe Show's gonna win this one, man. One thing about 205 Live is that the title doesn't change hands as frequently as it should. I think the person who will eventually take it off, if nobody new comes in, will be Cedric Alexander. I think that he's next in line. I want Mustafa Ali to eventually challenge Zoe, but I don't think that that's, for whatever reason, I don't think that's just ever going to happen. So, yeah, no time soon. So, yep, I've got Zoe winning this one, man, with Drew Gulak, bro. That's the only reason why I'm watching this match, bro. Well, I mean, besides the fact that, well, I won't be there, but Drew Gulak is just gold, man. Just straight up gold, like gold, golden money.
Comedy gold. Gold, as in gold versus gold on the line. Intercontinental title, The Miz versus Baron Corbin. I think this match could be deceptively entertaining because you don't like fans truly, regardless of if it's heel versus heel, who cares? You don't know who's going to win this match. And both of these guys, I think it's going to be a cool match because both of these guys don't care about cheating, don't care about what they're heels. They don't care about what the fans think. I'm going to say Baron Corbin picks up the W in this one.
I agree, man. I mean, I could definitely see this being a double count out or double disqualification or whatnot. But it makes more sense to, the titles are not up for grab. Miz is not above putting people over, even the ones that, he comes off not really liking too much. So I've got Baron Corbin on this one, man. I think it's a no-brainer.
What do you mean he comes off as not liking Baron Corbin and not wanting to push him?
Well, he cut a couple of promos about him talking about his wife and how serious he gets and stuff like that.
Bit overboard, yeah.
Yeah, a little overboard, emotional kind of thing. So, with that being said, man, I just think it's a no-brainer that Baron Corbin is going out. This is the time to build Baron Corbin up, and it's going to start with The Miz.
So the women's match, it's going to be Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. So Team Raw, headlined and captained by Alicia Fox and Nia Jax, Bayley, who just made the team 2 weeks ago, Sasha Banks and Asuka versus Team SmackDown. So you have Naomi, Tamina, Becky Lynch, Carmella, and I'll end there because it's a mystery.
Yeah,
like Evolution. Evolution is a mystery. Like those vocal cords. It's
coming
a mystery
down in history.
So if it's not Natalya, we both know exactly who it is, right?
I mean, do we?
Yeah, she's coming off a neck injury.
I mean, do you really think Nikki Bella's gonna show up?
Bro? Oh, geez.
I don't know, man.
Like, it could be Bella. It could be Brie. She's healed up from having a kid.
Dude, like, honestly, I don't.
You don't want Paige on? Are you telling me you don't want Paige on SmackDown?
I don't. I would rather her be on Raw.
Why?
Than SmackDown.
Why? You like Paige, and you like SmackDown.
I do. But Raw lacks strong women in the ring.
They have Asuka.
That's just one.
And
person.
Bayley. Are you saying Asuka, Bailey, and Sasha Banks are not strong in the ring? Especially when you just said a month ago Nia Jax had her coming out
did
party.
you say Sasha Banks?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean strong in the ring?
Okay, so we've talked about, I brought this up a couple of times about Sasha Banks. Like, there's something wrong with Sasha. I can't pinpoint what it is, but she doesn't have it anymore in the ring. Like, it's not there. When was the last time you saw her have a great match? Like a really compelling great match? I can't remember it it's probably since Charlotte left. Her chemistry in the ring is just not there, and I don't know if it's just because I perceive it as maybe she's not caring, or maybe there's something going on that's impacting her ability in the ring. I don't know. So I mean, to me, she's not strong anymore. Alexa's great, yeah, but once they really get Asuka's program going, she's going to be left in the dust, unfortunately. Not really credible threat against Asuka. I think Paige would probably be third in lines. Like, it would be Asuka, Bailey, then Paige.
But she would be second in line on SmackDown. SmackDown's weaker than Raw in the women's division.
Yeah, but although it's weak, I think it would be stronger if they moved Ember Moon up. And that's
to Raw or SmackDown?
To SmackDown, that's who I think is going to be the
aha. Try the soup.
Because your boy Sage the Mark. I told y'all guys 4 weeks ago that AJ Styles was going to be the one who goes in and beats Brock Lesnar. Y'all didn't believe me. Y'all didn't believe me at all. In fact, y'all coming through were like, oh, what are they doing? They don't know what they're doing. Jinder Mahal, it was a failed experiment. Jinder Mahal was a failed experiment. That's why they got AJ. No, this is the way that they did it. This is what they planned. These were the seeds. Y'all just failed to see it. Let's go.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's a great way to put it, is that WWE could be teasing us that it's Paige, but it could be literally, we just talked about this a couple minutes ago. It could be any one of the three losers in the NXT match. And maybe you said you want to see Peyton Royce win it. Maybe Peyton Royce wins the title so that Ember Moon or Kairi Sane gets called up and joins the SmackDown roster. So I'll agree with you. I think Paige is more of somebody I'd want to see on Raw. I will say that I think Raw's, just off talent in the ring, I think Raw's women division right now is more stacked than SmackDown's. That's not a good thing. That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying one show's talent is better because the other show's talent is bad. I'm not saying that. You could say one team is better without saying the other team is bad. I mean, you could say that the Cavs last year lost to the Warriors in the finals, but that doesn't mean the Cavs are a bad team. They just, it just didn't work out. So now that you mention it, I thought that Paige was for sure 100%, 150% the surprise guest. But now you've got me thinking. You've just pumped me up, Sage DeMark. You've just pumped me up for that, whoever it could be, 10 times more, because part of me thinks, as of right now, part of me thinks it could be Natalya, because WWE is perfectly fine with trolling the fans. And plus, they throw in Natalya, it gets her extra heel heat. And if you don't believe me, WWE is a fan of trolling the fans for extra heel heat. Go watch the Royal Rumble this year and see who came out at number 30. I'll fill you in the hell with it. Just spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. Everyone thought it was going to be Finn Balor at number 30. It was Roman Reigns, and the place went nuts and booed. Bad. So it could be Natalya.
I'll go back and watch The Last Samoan. I believe it was episode 33-ish. Y'all hear how bad the crowd was because we were there.
Shout out to Stephen Thatch. He said Paige is definitely going to be on the show because New Day rocks. So if you get the reference, you get the reference.
And that's exactly why she's going to be on Raw.
So I think that it could be Paige, it could be Natalia, or it could be any one of the NXT losers. Man, that sounds hardcore. It sounds raw. Like, ooh, baby, I like it raw. Slow ODB reference. So
So terrible, bro.
next match. I mean, while we're on the subject of women, we might as well get into Claire versus the most beautiful woman in the WWE by far, Alexa Bliss. This
Wait, Alexa over Zelina Vega?
just Alexa's these are the two best. Okay, yes, because Alexa and Charlotte are legit the two best women wrestlers, or the two best women talent overall in the WWE right now, and that includes NXT. They are the best. They're two who could cumulatively have the best mic skills and the best in-ring skills. They're good, so good in the ring that they make their opponents look better by far. This one is ridiculously tough to call. I am gonna go with Alexa. There's not a title on the line. Charlotte's pay-per-view record is broken. My biggest hope for Survivor Series is that there aren't any countouts or DQs. Like, every match is won fair and square. Even if cheating's involved, I don't even care about that. I just want to see wins. I'm going to go with Alexa. And it pushes Alexa to be that much stronger because you said so earlier, Asuka's the queen of queens. So I'm going to go with Alexa on this one. This is a tough one.
You know, I just noticed we talked about the 5-on-5 match and didn't even talk about who's going to win and get eliminated.
No. Well, oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, that's the whole point of the match, bro.
Well, for time's sake, oh yeah, I guess you're right. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to that. Let's get to that. Especially when I said earlier that what I think is going to happen at the very end of the match. Oh no, I guess it doesn't matter because it's going to happen after this match. We'll go back to that in a bit.
Okay.
So call it right now.
Okay.
And then we'll tie it into what me and you, I have a good feeling both think is going to happen.
I actually have Charlotte winning this one here. And let's talk about why.
So go ahead and go in.
I'll let you go, Goose. No, I'm gonna let you go, Goose.
No, I'm gonna ask you once Charlotte wins.
I've been the prophet, bro. I've been the prophet like the last 5 or 6 weeks, bro. It's time for you to come up with these ideas, man. We on the same page. Like we are, no pun intended, but we on the same page. So
I'll give you this. I think SmackDown is going to lose. SmackDown's going to lose, regardless of what surprise person they have come out. SmackDown's going to lose. I think Raw's going to win. I think that I already said Alexa Bliss is going to win before I thought of what I think is going to happen after the match. I think so. I'm going to stick with it because I've already said it. I think Alexa is going to win, and she may beat up Charlotte after the match, and she may beat up Charlotte really bad after the match to the point where we get the cash in, and Carmella may come out of this weekend as the SmackDown Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Champion, assuming the WWE doesn't prey on us and Carmella doesn't pin Alexa Bliss. Because technically, I mean, I think it's already been proven and said. I said this months ago that whatever Money in the Bank contract you win is only for the show that you're on. It's not dual shows, but it's the WWE. They could flip the script. It's a TV show. They could flip the script whenever they want. So I'm going with Alexa, and I'm going with Raw winning the women's division match.
So the way I think it's going to play out is Charlotte's going to win using natural selection. Um, she's gonna win 1, 2, 3. She's going to come in the ring, and she's gonna come in the ring. The music's gonna hit. Or sorry, God, I'm so excited, man. The music's gonna hit. Carmella's gonna come down the ring. Charlotte's gonna act like, "Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready." Alexa's gonna start, wobbling and coming to the ring, and she's gonna try to entice her to cash in. And Alexa's gonna turn around, hit Alexa Bliss, or Carmella's gonna turn around, hit Alexa Bliss with the briefcase, give the ref the briefcase, cash it in, pin Alexa. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. That's how I would do it. That's how I would do it, bro.
As far as we know,
is going to drop that title to Carmella.
As far as we know, and from everything we know, Carmella could only cash in on SmackDown. But if WWE wanted to change it, it's a TV show. You and I have talked about it a year ago.
She got it. She belongs on. Yo, Cass is coming back in a couple of months, man. It only makes sense. They sacrifice enough, man. It only makes sense that she goes to Raw. Like,
it is.
So we got Ember Moon. We got Ember Moon for the 5th person, right? So then, tit for tat, we trade Ember Moon in. We're trading Carmella to Raw. Boom. Let's go.
So after that, the New Day versus the Shield. It's not an elimination match, but it's a straight up match. That's going to be amazing. Who do you have, New Day or the Shield?
Got the Shield.
All right. Yep, me too. Well, that was pretty easy. So moving on.
I'm really excited about that match at all, bro.
It'll be a good match, but I got the Shield picking up the dub. The Bar versus the Usos. And I hope the Usos come out on top. I'm gonna pick the Usos, and I'm totally pulling for those dudes coming out on top. Those dudes are in my nomination for the IRWP Wrestling Awards for the Tag Team of the Year.
Yeah, they got the Tag Team of the Year nomination. They got the Mic Skills of the Year nomination. They got the Most Improved nomination. Like, these guys is on fire, man. The Triple Crown right there. Yeah, I got the Us.
Same here.
Down since day one-ish, bro.
So before we get into the, I guess let's before we get into the title fight, or before we get into the 5-on-5, let's go with the title fight. AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
I don't think there's going to be any Jinder Mahal interference, but unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, I got AJ Styles losing pretty clean. Mind you, this is a guy who just beat Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, or Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I've got Jinder Mahal interfering in this match. I really want him to come in and beat up Brock Lesnar, man. I was so hoping for the Beastmaster gimmick, bro, but I definitely think AJ Styles is going to lose. I don't think it'll be clean. I do think Jinder Mahal will come in and interfere in this match, though.
So yeah, it's a pretty sure shot that AJ Styles is going to lose. So the 5-on-5 before we wrap up today. Didn't we confirmed the women's? I said Raw was going to win. I'm picking Raw on both ends. Oh, what did you say? Did you pick? No, I picked Raw on both ends. I think Raw women are going to win, and on both ends, I think Alexa's going to win, and Raw women are going to win. Who'd you pick for the women's match?
I'm actually going to pick SmackDown.
So SmackDown's going to win the 5-on-5, but
yeah.
So you're telling me SmackDown's going to win the 5-on-5, then Charlotte's going to win, and then Raw's going to lose their championship to a SmackDown wrestler for the Money in the Bank cash-in? So you have SmackDown pretty much cleaning up all three of anything having to do with the women? It won't clean up all three. Like, assuming 3 being the 5-on-5, the championship, and the cash-in. Because technically, Carmella cashing in is a SmackDown over Raw win if she pins one of the Raw people.
I just the women's one is really complicated because for me, I'm thinking like long term. Like, their next pay-per-view, I believe, is Clash of the Champions, which I think is a SmackDown pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Yes.
So like the way that I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I think Asuka's gonna Alicia Fox would be the first to go, first or second to go. It would be
Yeah.
nice to see her be the actual last person, but and then I think Asuka is going to get eliminated because Dana Brooke comes in and interferes as retaliation for her not being the fifth person in their match. So that'll kind of do that feud there. Who else do we have there? I think we finally get Bailey and Sasha to turn on each other, and
Maybe, yeah.
yeah, I think that that's gonna set the seed. So my money would be not Becky. My money would be that Bailey causes Sasha to get eliminated, and that ends that right there. Soul Survivor will be Nia Jax.
Okay, that's a nice way to push her, especially on the come up.
Yeah, and I think she'll clean house. Like I really do. I think she'll clean house, but I think at the end of the day, Ember Moon's going to take her out. Like that fifth person is going to play an impact on that. So that's the only reason why I got SmackDown, man.
Okay, perfect.
So then
So
we got the 5-on-5.
5-on-5 men's match. Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, John Cena, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the glorious one Bobby Roode. Those guys are going to be representing SmackDown. And on the Raw side, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Kurt Angle, and recently announced just this week, Triple H.
So we could both say that Raw is going to win this match, right? Like we could.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I think.
So
Well, remember SmackDown won last year, and
yes, they definitely won.
No, they won last year because the Wyatts, the Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt won. If you asked me to predict it, I think Braun Strowman's going to get taken out
by
Kane, and they'll just fight to the back. Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, it's okay if they could afford to get eliminated. And Kurt Angle and Triple H might have a mini feud over the Jason Jordan thing. So I think Raw is going to lose and SmackDown's going to win.
So at first, when Jason Jordan was in the match, I thought that Jason Jordan was going to cost Kurt Angle him being in there, and that was going to kind of propel them to have a feud. But that seems to be put on hold for like indefinite. So I think Jason Jordan gets involved in this match. I'm hoping that Jason Jordan gets involved in this match, and somehow costs Triple H. Although it might be premature.
Well, it could be because that'll lead to a Triple H Jason Jordan match, and obviously Triple H putting over Jason Jordan.
Right. Good and point. That, because to me, that's the program that comes next before Angle, the endgame Angle and Triple H. So Jason Jordan gets involved. Triple H gets eliminated. Triple H vows to destroy him on behalf of Kurt. And, that should set us at least midway point through WrestleMania-ish, maybe early World Rumble. I don't know.
So let me ask you this. Oh, so who'd you pick? SmackDown or Raw? Picking up.
I'm picking Raw. I think that Kurt Angle will be the sole survivor to win it. But it's not going to be quote unquote total annihilation, which is what Stephanie is going to come out on Monday. And
so who's gonna eliminate? And we'll wrap it up. But who's going to eliminate Shinsuke Nakamura if you had to pick? Because he's very protected. And he's elite.
So one of the, go ahead.
No, I was just saying he's an elite. He's elite on the team.
He absolutely is elite. I would say 100. I mean, he would be P2.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, definitely. But one thing that we're not taking into account with SmackDown is KO and Sami Zayn, which those two are definitely going to get involved in this match. We just don't know how. I think that they're going to be the reason, a strong reason as to why SmackDown actually loses. Because, I mean, they've been kind of harping about it for weeks and weeks and weeks, how they're underappreciated and they're not for SmackDown, they're for themselves, and that's how it should be and things of that nature. But one thing I wanted to propose to you, Goose, is we don't know who Daniel Bryan was on the phone with when he quote unquote got attacked by Kane, because it wasn't Shane who he was on the phone with. We don't know who it was. I'm hoping that Daniel Bryan turns heel or does a double cross of some type of nature. I would love to see that, man. I would love to see that.
So you're not still hoping on to him coming back in the ring, right? In WWE. He will never come back in the WWE. If you have brain issues, you will never, ever, 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 ever fight in the WWE again.
It's not. I mean, I don't know, man. But as a commissioner, they can still have him double cross Shane and cost them. And I think that I feel like he's going to get involved too. And maybe he's the one who opened the door so SmackDown could, so that Raw can come in and decimate them. I don't know, man. I feel Daniel Bryan's involved in this storyline, and we're not seeing it at all. Like, no one's talking about it. No one's even thinking about it. But I mean, there's breadcrumbs that Daniel Bryan could be involved. So
yes. So we have an exciting week of wrestling coming up this week. Tons of stuff going on. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm your boy Ben Goose, and I'm going to be at ROH on Friday night, and I'm going to head down there in San Antonio. Sage Mark is going to be at NXT War Games. He's been talking about War Games for a year now, and he's finally going to get to see it live. He'll be out there. So keep a look. Sage Mark, for the record, what are you, 6'5"?
6'4".
6'4". He's not hard. If you know anything about what any of us look like, he's not hard to find.
Bro, I'm going to be the guy wearing the IRWP shirt.
I'm going to be, I need to make an IRWP club. That's the next shirt. So
I like that, man.
Do you have anything else you wanted to cover this week?
No, I mean, we got some shout outs. I mean, let's get
into some shout outs. Yeah, let's get into some shout outs.
Do you got a drop for the shout outs?
Nope, of course not. What is this? We're talking the streak here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking the streak. You could hear Sage laughing. We're talking the streak.
Oh, man.
The streak for how often I don't have a drop for the shout outs. And you know what's funny is I was going to text you earlier and say, hey, man, wasn't I supposed to download a drop or come up with a drop for this week? I was this close to texting you, asking you if I was supposed to come up with a drop for this week. And your response would have been like, nah, homie, the past 7 months I've been asking for a drop on the shout outs. So the drop is, let's get into it. The drop is going to, once I finally get the drop made, it'll be something like, nah, you're a bot.
Yeah, exactly.
Heavy baseline hit.
Man, we need to get that old one, man. I'm gonna have to pipe that in or something, man. But yo, first things first. Thank you for everyone who joined live. I got Stephen Thatch in the chat room. So thank you so much for that. I do want to give a shout out to Fabricio Verdum. Did I say his name right?
Yeah, for throwing the boomerang.
Yeah, for throwing that boomerang, bro.
That was G shit. That was some straight up G shit. For you confront somebody and you take a boomerang in like a shopping bag and throw it at somebody. He's about to get arrested for it because the guy he threw it at is a UFC fighter and he's pressing charges. So somewhat shout outs.
Bruh, well, trust me, that Dana's gonna get involved. That thing's gonna get dropped. Like, he's not gonna show up to the hearing itself, so that'll get dismissed right then and there, bruh.
Oh yeah.
But shout out for him, man. That boomerang thing, man, that was pretty funny. I mean, I don't condone violence, but that shit was pretty funny, man. It should be on bloopers or something. With that being said, man, want to give a quick shout out to UFC World at UFC World News. We got Evening Radio Podcast at Evening Radio Podcast. We also got One Fall Podcast at One Fall Pod. One Fall. Boom. Love that. View from the top rope at View from the Top Ropes. Thank you so much for joining. IRWP. We got the Big Boot. Squared Circle SQ. Infamous B. We got TFN. We also have Alika, Daniel Bond, Claire McGee, and the Wrestling Man as well. So thank you so much there. And yo, I don't know if you noticed, man, we got a lot of love on Instagram, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, a lot of love on Instagram. And I just noticed, like, I don't give a lot of people, like, I don't go through the list to say our thank yous, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do that right now. So first off, Soda Pop Hendrix, thank you so much for subscribing to our Instagram. We got 12 Toe Tiger giving us some love on there. I believe he hit up Ben Goosen with that Fresh Prince gift.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
So we got the Duo Podcast. We got Bushido Muay Thai. We've also got Shirley Flores 2465. We got Emerson Valencia. I'm on par with these names today. I've got Vicky Belson. We've got Mel Finest, Silky Mel.
Oh, hey, what up? Shout outs to Silky Mel Johnson.
There we go. We got Elijah _ Ace 12. Thank you so much. We've got Need for Meme, Kenny Slowdon. And last but not least, we've got Regis Bureau. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing, liking, subscribing, getting the word out, showing some love. That's what we do here. Show love and support because we love our community. Don't we, Goose? We
do. And if you want to support us, we talk about the Patreon account every week. But you know what? Houston, San Antonio, stand up. Texas, stand up. Come say what's up to us. We're going to be at ROH in San Antonio tomorrow night. NXT tomorrow night, or excuse me, Saturday night in the Houston area, NXT TakeOver. Just, hit us up. Anytime, hit us up on Twitter. For those of y'all regular listeners, we always give you some shout outs. We give you props. We follow back. We do all that good stuff. We're just wrestling fans. You know what I mean? We're just having some fun. So I'm your boy Ben Goosen. That's your boy Sage the Monkey, Sage Mark.
Ass.
That's a little Outbreak reference for and by the way, if you listen to the other episode, you saw that I may have said that Sage is like the monkey from Outbreak, but I also reference myself as Cuba Gooding Jr. Maybe I should go by Ben Goosen Gooden Jr. Maybe that should be my new name from now on. But we just want to say, hey, thank you for everybody listening. Hey, yo, there's a lot of negativity going on in the world this week, just in general. So just keep your head up. Remember, there's always a wrestling fan that wants to talk to you. Us wrestling fans got to stick together. ROH, the Bullet Club, all this stuff going on in the world today. There's always some positivity in wrestling. Share your thoughts with us, IRWP.us. That's where y'all find our Twitter handles and our Patreon account. At the end of the day, have a good weekend. Excellent wrestling weekend. Excellent sports weekend in general. And keep it real.
Keep it real. Houston, we want the gold, sucker.
Hey, and what is up, everybody? Thank you for listening to the show today. We had a lot of interesting topics today, from Survivor Series to NXT and our predictions. Make sure to catch your boy at ROH in San Antonio, Ben Goose, and he'll be wearing the Bullet Club t-shirt. Sage and Mark, he'll be out there in Houston rocking the IRWP shirt, supporting the cause. Hey, go visit us on IRWP.us and feel free to support the Patreon account. We'd really appreciate it. Or just hit us up on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you guys. Hey, listen, the thoughts and views expressed on the show are that of the IRWP and not of the hosts themselves. Hit us up anytime at Sage Mark on Twitter, at Ben Goose on Twitter as well. Go ahead, everybody. Remember, peace, love, unity, and respect. Go ahead and keep it real.